and welcome to Chanakya's Face Off. With the disqualification of Congress MP Rahul Gandhi and the subsequent activities, there has been a lot of noise around the Congress party and from various sectors of the society. So today we have with us a very, very important person from the Tamil Nadu Congress, Mr. Americai Narayanan, a very, very senior leader from Tamil Nadu Congress, to talk to us about the recent happenings and to share his views. Welcome to Chanakya, sir. It's a very great pleasure having you. Vanakkam. So your initial thoughts, introduction, I've given the introduction that we are going to talk about the disqualification of your MP, Mr. Rahul Gandhi. I would like to know your initial thoughts before I put forth my questions.
First thing is, from India to a Dallas site, I say good morning, and I'm glad to be there and talk to you as an ex-Dallasite who has worked there for several years and returned back home. I worked for Lone Star Gas, so it's good to talk to you also in Texas as a Texan.
I'm talking to a proud Texan again.
Yeah, I am. I'm a proud Texan. If God has come and told me that I cannot be an Indian, I would rather be a U.S. citizen. There's no question about it. I love India so much. But I'm not only by birth, but by choice, an Indian, Tamilian, and a first-generation politician. And an unsuccessful one at that, I have to say, so far, having tried for almost 30 years. But coming back to the subject, I think, first, I object to the word that you used as noise. It is not a noise. It's a voice of the people, voice of India, voice of the people who love democracy, not only in India, but all over the world. It's a shame that a person who has been elected by the people of India has been disqualified for criticizing an act of the Prime Minister. And it's a political vendetta of the highest kind, almost trying to kill the democracy. But our Prime Minister, Modi ji, has to understand India is much, much bigger than him, and the democracy is much, much, much bigger than Bharatiya Janata Party.
My question's here. It is not an anti-democratic process. He's been disqualified as per the Representation of People's Act 8C.
Right. That's what Hitler said. All the acts of Hitler at that time,
of People's Act was not enacted by Mr. Modi.
You asked a question, I'm giving you an answer.
Please
don't be like Modi here. Okay. Now, Hitler's act before the final act of putting the people to the gas chamber, all the acts of Hitler is as per the laws of the nation of Germany at that time. Does that make it right? You should be, I'm sorry, journalists should be ashamed of asking this question.
What is wrong in asking this question?
It's a killer. I think they are trying to kill the democracy.
Representation of People's Act 8C was there before Modi, and it is here right now. And in fact, you should be answering my question that when the Supreme Court cancelled 8-4, Rahul Gandhi said that the ordinance brought by Congress it's nothing but, it's worthless. And he said he would tear it down, that ordinance, which said that people should be
killed. I agree with you. Whatever you said is factual.
What has happened is 8C is being implemented. It is nothing anti-democratic.
I'll answer that question. I will answer that question. Basically, let's go back to the history. See, when the court or the people interpret a thing, when we talk about the Constitution, we talk about the Constitution Assembly and the discussions there to see what is the intent of the constitutional thing or a law. Of course, BJP will never understand that because recently, the first time in India, the finance bill, which is the most important thing, has been passed for about, I think, several lakh crores, has been passed without even a discussion with 25th Amendment in 2 minutes, with
I
25
don't,
amendments in two
I
minutes.
don't believe
But
I
coming
don't
back
believe
to
a
your subject
choice
on
was I don't believe a choice was given there. None of the parties let the parliament to function. That's a debate.
absolutely.
That's a debate in itself. We should talk
I-
separately, but let's come back to our point.
I'm happy you're defending BJP
No,
because they need to be
I'm
defended, defending the
I am
undefendable in a
I am
democratic parliamentary thing.
I am against both the if by as a journalist I am against both the parties for not letting the Lok Sabha
No,
function in
I
its
will
full
tell you. We'll
capacity.
talk about that
It
also
is
in one
it is
second, and then we'll go to the
people's
subject
it
on
is
hand.
people's money with which the Lok Sabha is
Absolutely right.
running, and I believe
Absolutely right.
it should
There are
be functioning.
see, this is the way that people bring in factual with fiction. You are right. You said it's a people's money. It's like whenever people talk about racism, and some people who are racist, not all of them, will say, I have black friends, I have Indian friends. It's like that when you mix facts with things. See, in a democracy, it's incumbent on the government to make sure they have more responsibility to make sure they run the parliament properly. It is a BJP which did not let the opposition speak about Adani,
Sorry,
who is a
sorry to
close friend
disturb
of
you, but let's come
Mr.
back to
Modi,
this.
who has been funding them
No, I would like to
without
talk to you in a separate
amending.
interview.
No, we don't even know in a democracy, thanks to Modi's amendment in terms of electoral bond, we don't even know. In United States, we know who is funding Democratic Party or a Republican Party. In India, we don't even know who is funding. Is that the real intent of bringing electoral
I would
thing?
I
But
would
let's come back
really
to the
I would really like to talk about democracy separately with you, but let's come back
right.
to
Let's
Rahul
go to
Gandhi.
the. But no, we are talking about democracy because they're killing democracy. Going back,
That's not
my,
the subject here.
I'll answer your question in terms of specific representation of the People's Act, which Rahul Gandhi tore up, and I supported him on that. I have opposed also Rahul Gandhi. Some of your viewers may not know that. I have said Rahul Gandhi is not equipped properly to lead IMC India, but that's a different point. But I'm bringing it factually because your viewers may not know that. I have not always supported Rahul Gandhi blindly. But I supported Rahul Gandhi on the incidents of tearing up thing because people who commit, politicians who commit heinous crimes like corruption or murder or things like that, in the process of appeal, they and procrastination of taking it to the appeals, they stay in power. And Rahul Gandhi, when the entire Indian National Congress, BJP, and all the parties supported it, because he wanted cleaner government, cleaner politics. He tore that up, and rightfully so. He represented my heart also in that particular thing. Now,
Millions of people's heart
of
in that
course, he's
case.
being convicted by the same thing. Let's come back to this because your viewers may not know that. What is the exact act of commission by Rahul Gandhi where he has been convicted? He has said in a meeting in, I think, in 2019 in Gujarat,
Yeah,
it's
Karnataka.
Nirav Modi, Choksi, Lalit Modi, and Modi. How come the Modis are all thieves? That's the word he used in an electoral meeting to make a point, rightfully so, where Modi has taken the money, has taken undue advantage to him and his party and to his cronies in the Rafale deal. Now, to make the point, to push the point in an electoral meeting,
And
all
he
these guys.
apologized for making that statement that
Again,
on the Rafale deal.
again, you are selectively wrongly quoting because he
I'm
did
quoting the
something wrong.
facts.
Let me please explain to your viewers. Yes, he did apologize to the Supreme Court, and he was wrong in saying that the Supreme Court said so. There's nothing wrong in saying Modi, he has said, Chaukidar Chor hai. So
I
the
completely
problem
agree with
is,
you.
no, wait. He, however, he attributed it. he attributed that to the Supreme Court, which was clearly wrong, which Supreme Court did not say, and he did go and apologize to the Supreme Court. He should not have done that. There's
That
no
is
ifs and buts about it. But
now
Modi has
8C
taken
getting
Rafael deal.
no
In
8.
Rafael
No,
deal,
sir.
there are 528 aircrafts that have been planned to give to Hindustan Aeronautics Limited.
No, sir.
Instead, for the
I
same
have
money,
this
they have bought only
important question now,
120
sir.
aircraft. I mean, less than 200 aircraft. And given that to the cronies for Reliance, who did not have any experience in maintaining the aircraft,
Sir,
and
may I
then
ask you one
subsequently
question?
cancelled it because it was brought in by the opposition.
May
Now,
I
let's
ask you
come
one
back to
question?
this deal on this.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah.
the point is, did the intent of the law is, for example, Jayalalitha was convicted and her position was taken away
In
from her.
2014.
She was
Yeah.
disqualified.
Mhm.
There is a corruption, massive corruption, which was proven in the court, and hence she was done. Now, in this particular case, a political rhetoric which is against individual, not against any community. I don't even today know that Modi is a community. I looked at it as a last name, surname. Okay. Today I knew that it is because of the case. I knew it has become a MBC community. Everybody carried their name. Modi as a surname. But having come back, he did not slur against the community. He slurred specifically against individual. Anybody who listens to it knows that he is pointing out at Modi as a political leader, drawing a parallel against other Modis who had run out of India by letting this BJP government let them go out of India. Okay?
Surat Court has
leaving that aside, the point is, see, look at this. For that particular thing, now, nowhere in the world, a political statement gets into be a criminal defamation. Now, as per the law, Indian law only, and it's the intent of the law, that's why I brought in the constitution earlier and the discussions earlier. The intent of the law is not necessarily against the politicians who use it. And there has been worse words used, you know it, and I know it, not only in India, throughout the world against the opposition parties, but it has been taken in the state of Gujarat. And we know, and I'm not attributing motive to the judge, but having said that, we know judges who, after retirement, has been appointed as a governor, who has given favorable judgment to Amit Shah, for example, Supreme Court Justice who retired, Justice Sadasivam, who acquitted Amit Shah, has been given a gubernatorial post. So the judge's motives, listen to me.
I want to stop you because I want to stop you because of one thing. We cannot go on finding fault with the motives of judges.
No, I have not. I'm not implying motives of judges at all.
No. I want to make it clear.
Let me make it very clear. I'm not.
Make it clear too,
I'm not, because I know I will attract, a defamation and what do you call? I'm not supposed to do that, so I'm not doing it.
So
I'm very clear about that.
No, that's the question here.
But having said that,
High Court,
does this crime require punishment? And if they could have even given 1 year, 11 months.
Sir,
so many days. But he intentionally gave 2 years, knowing fully well it will attract.
We are not going to discuss the intention of Surat Court.
I'm not questioning the Surat judge.
No, I don't want to. That's what.
Let's make sure. I don't think he has a motive. I'm making it very clear that judge does not have.
Then what's the point, sir? Surat Court has given a judgment that he is going to be imprisoned for 2 years.
Okay, now let's come back to the
Section 8. As per Section 8(3),
you can quote all the things. There are illegal laws.
What has happened?
Wait,
sir, Narayanan sir, I'll ask you one question.
One second, let me make one point.
No, sir, I'll just make this one point, sir.
You can kick you when it go forward and backward. But is this country being governed by Dharma?
Sir, we are governed by the Constitution.
In the name of Constitution, we know Constitution
Congress
guaranteed
had
freedom
the
of speech.
maximum number of chances to amend the constitution. If at all you feel something is not dharmic, that should have been done in the, when Congress had multiple majorities, 136 times the
That is why,
constitution has been amended.
that absolutely right. That's absolutely right. Because of protecting the dharma, political dharma, that is why Rahul Gandhi went against that particular thing.
So Congress did not take 8-3.
Which should.
No. Congress did not amend the Representation of People's Act, which means they felt the Representation of People's Act is correct, and the same has been applied.
You are talking technical. I am talking dharma.
Sir, we are following the Constitution, sir. We are following the Constitution. Sir, we are following the Constitution of India. That is dharma for us.
Yeah, constitutionally, you are killing democracy. Is that what you are trying to tell you?
No,
I'm happy.
If at all it is,
you are admitting you are killing dharma in the name of Constitution.
I have a lot of complaints against the Constitution myself, but I wouldn't dare to say go against the Constitution, because if I have a problem, that's what
Mahatma Gandhi did. Mahatma Gandhi went against the British Empire, who quoted, like Satan quoting the verses. They quoted the Constitution and went against Mahatma. We are still having
British. I don't think the comparison is correct. British is a
colonial. They are using the colonial laws. They are using the colonial laws to kill the democracy. Nowhere in the world where the criminal defamation is used against these kind of things. That's the old British law. They should have changed. At least after 8 years, they have come to power. Why
did the Congress not change it for 75 years? Or 60 years, 68 years?
I tell you why. Congress would not. We don't have the devious mind of using laws like this to kill democracy. So we would have never thought about it.
You had the mind to dissolve the state governments in multiple states.
Of course.
You didn't want to dissolve. Come on,
no. I will openly say, look into your eyes and say, Congress is not a thing. Congress is not a thing. I know that. But among the scoundrels, I can tell you very clearly, this party is much, much better than any other party.
You are telling what happened.
In terms of secularism, in terms of respecting every religion, in terms of respecting every caste, in terms of helping the poorest of the poor, and holding Mahatma's vision of India, not the people, Godse's vision of India.
Sir, I asked you a simple question. Was it a democratic process or not? You didn't have a straight answer to tell me. You are giving me all stories, sir.
Yeah, because I have to explain to you the reason why we do that.
Sir, what happened is not a political vendetta, sir. What happened is not a political vendetta.
Please understand one thing. Life is not black or white. There are lots of grays. I'm explaining to you the shades of grays. Please understand that. Don't be too smart to ask these kind of questions.
No, sir. I can never be smart with a person like you, sir. It's a honor talking to you.
I'm not trying to say. But see, we need to understand. Please don't.
Sir, what has happened is no.
Don't underestimate your viewers.
No, my viewers are no. I am not at all underestimating. I am just trying to make it clear to people that what has happened is as per the law.
Please, again, I'm telling you, I did not say it is against law, but wrong laws should be opposed.
Why did the Congress not oppose? Why did the Congress not oppose?
That is why Rahul Gandhi
did Congress not oppose?
Say, vote to this, and Mahatma Gandhi did not vote to the wrong laws of the land. And that's what we should do.
Mahatma Gandhi's example will not fit in here, sir. That is a British rule and this is a people's rule.
He's trying to follow. Rahul Gandhi, no extension is like Mahatma Gandhi.
No, sir.
Rahul Gandhi is not, by no extension, is like Mahatma Gandhi. But every one of us should try and follow Mahatma Gandhi's footsteps to the extent possible. In this particular case, he is trying to follow it, honestly. And the only thing I think he should have done it better. He should have gone to jail without asking for the bail. That's what I would have done if I were him. He is right in opposing this law. We are right in opposing everything. We should fight it out politically. I think we are fighting it out politically. But if I were him, I would have not asked for the bail. I would have gone to jail on the same day and let the people decide.
How do you see ex-Congress leader Mr. Kapil Sibal's statements on this, remarks on this?
And Kapil Sibal opposed it. He was laughing at the implement this particular thing. Having said that, he did say it is done as per law. I accept that. I accept that. But this is what it is. I can find fault with every word that you say or I say. You can take it out of context. Life is not that. In a democracy, we should go with the intent of what we are trying to do. Is this the right way to bring in a democracy? Is it right to criticize? See, for example, I criticize the Prime Minister. He is my Prime Minister too. I have every right to criticize.
Everybody has a right.
But he is not acting like everybody's Prime Minister. We'll come to that different side. But he cannot call me anti-national just because I criticize. Prime Minister is not India. Let's be very clear about it. Modi is not India. Criticizing Modi is not criticizing India. I can criticize the act of the Prime Minister of India, and I should. It is my job as the opposition to criticize the acts of omission and commission of the ruling party, specifically this Prime Minister who is dividing India. Okay? And for that to use a colonial law, which is not its intent, and the court has done it, whatever the way it looked at, but immediately disqualifying. They could have waited for the appeal too. They could wait for the discussion too.
It is against the representation of People's Act. They did not
wait. It is an administrative matter. It is not
judicial matter. They did not wait because it is not part of the representation of People's Act.
It was comfortable. They are afraid of talking in the parliament about Adani. Adani, the Indian external affairs, is being guided by Adani, not India's interest, but Adani's interest, who has been funding Modi ji surreptitiously through electoral bond. We don't know who is funding it.
Why is no case?
Sri Lankan president said Modi has supported as for helping Adani. Modi goes to Australia. Coal mine is given to him. Everywhere he is taking the interest of his friend Adani. 20,000 crores is coming into India. We don't know how it's coming from. These questions are being asked. He never answers that.
Sir, very simple, sir. If there is, if the Prime Minister is, working in the interest of Adani, why has not Congress sued the Prime Minister anywhere? So it is just allegation. Still, it is.
Madam, I sincerely hope. I'm happy you asked this question because your people will know. In the last 9 years, the government of India, with all its powers, okay, ED, Enforcement Directorate, CBI, Central Bureau of Investigation, Income Tax, they have been hitting all the opposed politically. I don't mind economic offenses, political opponents with this, with all the rates. You know what the conviction rate? Less than 1%. Now, with all the powers of government, if you cannot go to the court and prove certain things, because when the court lets somebody off, the criminal act says you can let thousands of criminals go out, but you cannot convict the innocent. So, to go to the court, I think that in a democracy, the best court is the people of India. We will take it to people of India. And when we do come to power, we will know what happens.
My last question to you, sir. You talked about dharma. So the entire issue is about Rahul Gandhi insulting a particular OBC community. Or at least they felt that, they are insulted directly by his statement. So as a dharmic person, would you not apologize to or at least clarify to the people that because all they demanded was in the court, if Rahul Gandhi is ready to apologize to the OBC community,
why should he apologize? The intent is not to criticize the community. The intent is very clearly. Anybody who has heard it.
So you mean to say the Surat court did not?
Prime Minister
you mean to? Sir, are you telling me the Surat court has not seen the intent of Rahul Gandhi?
Absolutely. That I can say that. The Surat court did not handle this case properly. That is not defamation. I'm not saying anything defamatory against the court, but I can always question the judgment, not intent of the judgment.
Okay.
The intent of the what Rahul Gandhi's rhetoric is to criticize nobody, any Tom, Dick, and Harry, and the fool knows that his intention is to criticize Modi. If court does not see it, we know how intelligent the court is.
No comments on that. So,
I'm
Mr.
happy
Kapil
you don't
Sibal,
make a comment on it because you know what I'm saying is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I'll let the people decide that. I'm here to ask you questions. If I have something to contradict, I'll do it. I won't just, I'm
Okay,
not
it's
going
good
to
that
defend
you're
someone.
accepting it.
No, I don't
You
want
didn't
to defend
contradict, so
someone blindly.
I know that you're accepting it. Good.
It's your statement, sir. It's your statement. I don't have any say on it. The point here is Mr. Kapil Sibal has also quoted one thing interestingly. If it's a political vendetta, will BJP not know that within the 3 months' time he's going to go for appeal? And when he goes for appeal, and if the next sub court, stays this judgment, he can still, his suspension of term will also come to an end. So, will for a short term vendetta, what do you think a political party should do?
I think, unfortunately, see, BJP, I admire BJP on several things. Like most of the people in the United States, and I also believe that Indian players in games, they lack the killer's instinct. And that's necessary to win to an extent. Unfortunately, Congress having come in Mahatma's way, where the end does not justify the means. The Hindus doesn't believe in dharmic ways. We follow both the means and the end should be right. However, BJP fights elections with the killer's instinct. Anything and everything goes. They lose the election, they immediately buy the MLAs and come to ruling, like as they did in Goa and Northeast. These are all factual. They approach every day in an electoral mode with killer's instinct. I think they have went that with the killer's instinct. I think they have misjudged this, and they're going to pay the price in the days to come, years to come, even in 2024. Where I think they still have the advantage, but this is a blunder against Indian democracy, against Dharma, and Lord Dharma will, in the name of Krishna, come and annihilate those people who are doing adharmic things.
Thank you so much for taking time and talking to us, sir. It's a great pleasure having you on Chanakya.
It's a pleasure talking to you. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.